Hi, this is Chris from needlepointers.com with another tutorial in our continuing series of serger and overlocker videos. Today I will show you how to finish a seam with a lettuce hem stitch on a serger. This is a popular hem finish on knit clothing and features a ruffled edge. If you don't have a serger, this same hem can be sewn easily with a sewing machine too. Look in the description of this video for a link to our sewing machine lettuce hem video. This hem must be sewn on stretchy fabrics. The stretch in the fabric is what makes the ruffle when it's sewn. This stitch is a variation on the rolled hem stitch. The rolled hem stitch finishes the edge by rolling or turning the raw edge under, and then a small overlock stitch finishes the edge. The lettuce hem stitch can be stitched with standard serger thread or with a stretch or woolly nylon thread in the upper looper. I will show you the settings for both as they are different when using the stretch thread. For my demonstration, I am using contrasting thread so it can be seen easily on the video. When you stitch a lettuce edge hem, select a color thread that coordinates with your fabric. Set up your serger machine for stitching the lettuce hem stitch. I have a Bernina L450 overlocker machine, so the instructions will work for both L450 or L460 machines. If you have a different brand overlocker machine, it should have similar settings and adjustments, but you may need to test them and make adjustments to the stitch as necessary. Since this is a 3-thread stitch, remove your left needle and tighten the screw. Adjust the tensions. The upper looper of red turn to 6, which is looser than normal. The lower looper blue turn to 3, which is tighter than normal. The right needle green keep set at 4, which is the normal setting. Set your stitch length to 1 and your differential feed would stay at its default position. Set your cutting width to 5, which is the narrowest setting, and pull back the rolled hem selection lever towards you to retract the little finger. This is what causes the fabric to roll over when stitching. For my sample, I am using 1 layer of t-shirt fabric. When sewing a lettuce edge hem, you must use a stretchy fabric. The more stretchy the fabric, the more ruffles will appear. Stitch along the edge, trimming a small amount from the edge. This cleans the edge up and makes sure there's no little strands of fabric sticking out. As you're stitching, stretch the fabric from the front and the back. This stretch is what causes the lettuce edge to become wavy. Here's the finished hem, front and back. You can see how the stitches are short and wrapped over the edge, and it has a nice wavy finish. Next, I'll show you how to stitch the lettuce edge hem with the stretchy thread. Maxi Lock stretch thread is a textured nylon that is soft like yarn. It is used to sew stretchy fabrics like swimwear or fitness clothes. It creates a smooth seam that can move with the fabric. When sewn with a rolled hem, it can create a nice finished edge. As before, since this is a 3-thread stitch, remove your left needle and tighten the screw. I will be stitching with the blue stretch thread, so place the blue stretch thread on the upper looper or blue thread. Adjust the tension so the lower looper, red, turn to 7.5. This is a little looser than normal. The upper looper blue turn to 2, which is a little tighter than normal. The right needle, green, should stay at your default setting. Turn the stitch length to 1.5 and the differential feed would stay at its default value. Set the cutting width to 5 or its narrowest value and pull back the rolled hem selection lever to pull back the finger, and this is what creates the rolled hem. For my sample, I'm using 1 layer of t-shirt fabric. When sewing the lettuce edge hem, you must use a stretchy fabric. The more stretchy the fabric, the more ruffles will appear. Stitch along the edge, cutting a small amount from the edge. This cleans up the edge and makes sure there are no bits of thread that will stick out when the hem is stitched. When stitching the lettuce edge hem, stretch the fabric from the front and the back as you're stitching. This is what makes the waves in the final seam. And here's the finished seam on the front and the back. So you can see that the short stitches nicely wrap over the edge and create a finished seam. When comparing to the original thread, the stretch thread fills in a little bit more, but because you're stretching, it doesn't seem to have as much of an effect as when you're sewing a seam that you're not stretching. That's it. Now you know how to sew a lettuce edge hem on your serger. Subscribe to our channel so you won't miss future videos. Visit our website, needlepointers.com, for lots of other serger tutorials and free projects. While you're there, sign up for our free weekly newsletter so you won't miss new tutorials. Happy serging!